You're going to drown in the next 2 weeks. It's the holidays without your child, and no one's going to notice until it's too late. But there's a way to get through this that keeps your head above water. The grief may feel sharp right now if this is your first holiday without your child, or maybe it's been years. The sharpness of the pain has dimmed, but the ache is always there, and the holidays usually bring it all back. Now, I'm part of Grieving Dad communities, and if you're like most dads that I've been speaking to over the last few weeks, this is what you're probably feeling. I'm struggling to see myself get through this. You may be feeling a certain element of numbness, the heartbreak, the resentment, the confusion, and possibly the breathlessness. And then there's this what if question that haunts you. What if your child had survived? What if they were here? What would that feel like? To compound that all, there's the pressure and the expectation to join the festivities, to pretend to enjoy whilst you're actually breaking inside. So I want to tell you what I'm seeing with dads right now, what you need to watch out for. Because if you don't know what's coming, you won't see yourself drown until you're already under. So let me tell you what I've been hearing from dads over the last few weeks. These are real things happening right now to fathers getting ready for the holidays. And if you recognize any of this, well, you're not alone. So, number one, the eggshell walking. Your family and friends are going to be tiptoeing around you. They won't mention your child's name. They think they're being kind to you. They think they're protecting you. But what it actually does is to make you feel invisible. You'll sit at the dinner table and everyone will be careful. Careful with their words. Careful with their joy. Careful not to upset you. And your child, it's like they never existed. That silence, it's going to make you feel even more alone than the grief itself. Number two, the reminders, the songs, the smells, the decoration, certain films, certain adverts, possibly some games, those deja vu moments. Every single one of them is a reminder. For example, you'll be in a shop buying food and a Christmas song comes along, the one you used to love, and suddenly you're frozen in the aisle, trying not to fall apart in front of strangers. You'll smell something cooking and it'll hit you, a memory, a moment, a wave. And then there's the adverts, the happy families, the kids opening presents, everyone smiling, wave after wave after wave of emotion. And at the family and friends gathering, you'll watch their kids run around, laugh, open presents, and every single one of them reminds you of what you've lost or what should be there. And you're supposed to just manage it, keep going, and get the shopping done to show up. Number three, the pressure from living kids. If you have other children, they want Christmas. They want the tree, they want the presents, they want the magic. And you don't want any of it. But you're caught in the middle of it, trying to give them joy whilst you're drowning in grief. You'll put up the decorations and every single one feels heavy. You'll wrap presents and you'll think about the one who's not here, the stocking that won't be hung, the gift you'll never buy. And then you'll have to smile, show up, make it magical for them while inside you're breaking. Number four, the ghosting. People who used to show up, they're not showing up anymore. Or they show up and they don't know what to say. So they say nothing. Maybe they avoid eye contact. Maybe they change the subject quickly. Maybe they just stop inviting you. And that silence, that absence, it makes you feel like your grief is too much, like you're too much for them. So you start doing the same. You start pulling back, not showing up, not reaching out, and the isolation grows. Number five, the family tensions, the old stuff with parents and siblings. Grief amplifies all of it. Someone says the wrong thing, someone makes it about themselves, someone tells you it's time to move on, and suddenly the holidays aren't just about missing your child, they're about surviving in your own family. You'll sit there at the table, trying to keep the peace, trying to manage everyone else's discomfort with your grief, and by the end of the day, you're exhausted. Number 6, the expectation to join in. You're expected to show up, smile, join in the festivities, pretend you're fine. Because if you don't, you're ruining Christmas for everyone else. So you force yourself. You go to the gatherings, you laugh at jokes, you toast the new year, and inside, you're numb. You're going through the motions, and every single moment feels like you're faking it. And then there's the what if question that haunts you. What if they had survived? What if they were here? What would that feel like? The pressure is immense. The expectation is high to join in the festivities, to pretend to enjoy whilst you're breaking up inside. So that's what I'm seeing happen to dads right now. And if you're watching this thinking that's exactly what I'm dreading, you're not imagining it. It's coming. And you need to know what to watch out for. So if this is speaking to you, hit subscribe. I'll be sharing more content to help you move with your grief through the holidays. And you don't have to do this alone. Now, let me tell you something from my own experience. I don't celebrate Christmas the way many of you do, but I know what it's like to try to hold your family together during a holiday whilst you're drowning inside. 4 months after we lost our son Hashim, I took my wife and kids to France. It was roughly August 2005, and we went to Bordeaux. I thought we needed this. We need to create some normal family time just to get away, to have a reset as a unit. And during the whole trip, I was focused on being there for them, for my wife, for my boys, and I never thought about my own downtime. I was being hit by waves of emotion, drowning, but I didn't even know it. I was in denial. I remember walking through the streets, trying to make sure everything was okay for them, making sure my wife felt supported, making sure my kids were having fun, making sure I looked steady. And inside, well, inside I was falling apart. But I didn't have the words back then. I didn't even know what was happening to me. I just knew that I had to keep everyone else okay. That was my job. That's what I believed a dad does. It wasn't until years later, talking to my oldest son recently about that trip, that I realized I was so busy being the supporter, I never gave myself permission to grieve. And here's the thing. I thought I was managing. I thought I was doing okay. I thought staying busy and focused on everyone else was how I managed. But I wasn't managing. I was drowning. I just couldn't see it. And that's what I see happening to dads right now as the holidays approach. You may think you're holding it together. You may think you're being strong for your family, but it's possible you're drowning and you don't even know it yet. And here's how I think about it. Imagine I'm in a car accident. I walk away. No broken bones, no cuts, no bruises, no visible injuries. Everyone says I'm so lucky I've walked away unscathed. But inside, something's torn. It may be a muscle or a soft tissue damage, or maybe it's something that can't be seen on an x-ray, like a stiff neck. And for weeks or even months, I keep trying to lift things, or I pretend to move like I used to, but the pain doesn't go away. It just gets worse. That's what grief is like, especially around the holidays. You look fine, you're walking, talking, functioning, but inside you're carrying an injury that no one can see. And the holidays, well, they're like someone asking you to run a marathon with that injury. And of course, it hurts. Of course, you're exhausted. And of course, you'll feel breathless. The problem isn't that you're weak. The problem is that you're trying to do something incredibly hard with an injury no one's acknowledged, and perhaps not even you. So let me paint you two scenarios. Scenario number one, you get through the holidays by staying busy. You show up at the family gatherings. You don't bring up your child's name because you don't want to make it awkward for anyone else. Your living kids open their presents. You take the photos. You do the dishes. You manage everyone else's emotion. And you tell yourself, I'll deal with this later. And then it's January. The decorations come down and life goes back to normal. But that load, well, it's still there. Maybe even heavier now because you carried it alone for all those weeks. Your partner notices the distance. Maybe she's tried to talk to you. Maybe you don't know where to start. The words feel stuck. Work gets harder. You're tired all the time. The breathlessness doesn't go away. The nights seem to get longer. And the worst part, you feel like you should have been over this by now. By next Christmas, you're doing the same thing, showing up, smiling, carrying it quietly. And the distance grows, the numbness grows, and the resentment grows. But here's what it could look like if you did it differently. The second scenario, you get through the holidays, but not by being busy. You do it by giving your grief somewhere safe to sit. Before Christmas, you sit down and you write just one line, something like, right now I feel. You don't share it with anyone, you just get it out of your head and onto paper. On Christmas morning, you and your partner light a candle together. You say your child's name out loud, both of you together. You share one memory, something small, something that makes you smile or cry, or both. You sit in silence together for a minute. You let the grief be there. You don't try to fix it. When someone at the family gathering tiptoes around your child's name, you say it gently, just once. Something like, we're thinking of your child's name today. And when someone asks how you're doing, instead of saying fine, you say something like, it's hard, but I'm managing. And here's what happens. It doesn't fix everything. The holidays are still hard, but you don't have to feel invisible. You don't feel as alone because you gave your grief somewhere safe to sit. And here's the truth. You don't have to choose between being a steady supporter and being a grieving father. You can be both. You can hold your family together and acknowledge that you're hurting. But here's the part most dads miss. If you don't give your grief a safe place to sit, it doesn't disappear. It waits and it comes back heavier, often years later, like it's done for me, often when you least expect it. And the holidays are hard because they force you to slow down, to be present, to feel. And if you've been running from grief all year, the holidays will catch up with you. So let me give you a few ways to keep your head above water. Now, it's not a fix, it's not a cure. It's just a few small, honest steps you can take to get through the holidays without drowning. Ways to keep your head above water whilst you deal with this. Step one, write one line right now. If you're feeling like you're already drowning, here's something you can do in the next 60 seconds. Grab a pen and a piece of paper or a notebook and write one line. Something like, right now I feel, and write down what you're feeling. That's it. You don't have to solve it. You don't have to share it. Just get it out of your head and onto paper. Because when grief sits in your head, it grows. And when you put it on paper, it becomes something you can look at instead of something that looks at you. Step two, create a small ritual, especially when you're not attending gatherings. If you choose not to attend the family gathering this year, if you and your partner have decided, we're not going to do this, here's a small ritual you can do instead. Number one, you can light a candle together at the time of the gathering that would have happened. Number two, you can say your child's name out loud, both of you together, even if it's hard. Number three, share one memory of them, something small, something that makes you cry or makes you smile, or both. And number four, sit in silence for a minute together. Let the grief be there. Don't try to fix it. This isn't about replacing the gathering. This is about honoring your child and validating your choice to protect your own peace. You're allowed to skip Christmas. You're allowed to say no. And you can still make the day meaningful in a way that honors your child. And step three, come and spend a moment with me. If what I'm saying is speaking to you, if you're thinking, I need more than just one line on a paper, I want to invite you to something. I've created a quiet, guided space, just 15 minutes, called A Letter I Never Got to Write. It's a short, gentle writing experience. No pressure to share, no pressure to talk. Just you, 3 prompts, and a moment to put some of what you're carrying onto paper. It's free, it's private, and it might give you a small sense of relief before the holidays hit. Come spend a moment with me and I'll guide you through it. I've dropped the link in the description below. And if you want more support like this through the holidays, then hit subscribe. I'll keep sharing small steps and honest content to help you get through the next few weeks. And I want you to know that you're not alone in this. You know, the holidays are always hard, and they will always be hard without your child. And that's the reality we grieving dads have to accept. But here's what I've learned after 20 years. Your love for your child doesn't end just because they're not here. And the holidays, they can be a time to remember that love, to honor it, to speak the name, light a candle, and say, you're still part of me, and you're still part of this family. You don't have to pretend you're fine. You don't have to drown quietly. You don't have to disappear into the weight of it. There's a way to get through this that honors both your grief and your family. And it starts with giving your grief a safe place to sit. You're still a dad, and you'll always be a dad. And I'd like you to take care of yourself this Christmas.